So that's just bolo tie. November 26th of 1944 and on. And I've sealed them all up. And you see, if you can't see it here, but this says Stalag 11B. And that was one of the camps. This in here is 11B. This in here is 2A. And I think this one probably here, yeah, this is also 2A. But that's just for a short little message saying that you're okay. And then this is the one that I was telling you fellows earlier about, that the full letter form. And you see, you would write the whole letter, address it to your folks, and then you turn this over and you would address it back to yourself, PFC, Leonard Martin, and my German serial number. And then this side, see, and then you'd fold it all up like this, and you'd put it together, and that would be the only way. And this was all handled through the Red Cross, that you would get these letters sent to your home. Now, this is one of the things I wanted to show you. When we were first captured, we walked for a few miles, and I found this in Cologne, Germany, this little boxcar. They call them wagons. They're all narrow gauge train, the tracks, and they were made what they called 4 and 8. I mean 40 and 8. 40 horses, 40 men or 8 horses. Get my tongue all twisted up here. But when they moved us, they put 110 men in there. Well, it was standing room only. So I bought this when I was in Cologne visiting, and then I had the little plaque made. Transportation in 1944 from Holland to Germany. This was a coin purse, a German officer's coin purse, and this has a special story about a Russian boy, soldier, just a young lad, that found this nut. Some people like to call him a burr, but it's a nut, and he filed it in the shape of a ring. And he brought it to me and wanted to sell it to me for cigarettes. And I said, no, you take it home and you chisel a little hammer and sickle into it. And so the next day he came back, and that's what he had. So that's a souvenir from a little Russian soldier. This is one of the biggest things I wanted to show it to you. This is a German blanket that was given to us in the prison camp, and they're absolutely worthless. They're made out of wood. It looks like wool, feels like wool. But the way we accomplished
But it doesn't keep you warm.
Doesn't keep you warm a bit. And we laid on a mattress ticking, a straw, a big sack like full of straw, and so naturally that's where the fleas and the ticks started coming into. But we would bunk together, 2 guys, and put both blankets over you. And so that would help a little bit, because there was no heat in the barracks, a lot of guys, but maybe that would help a little bit. And then this was given to us by the Red Cross. And for those of you people who might see this ad now that are a little bit older, remember that America had matchbooks covers like this that had Uncle Sam saying, shh, a slip of the lip will sink a ship. Well, the Germans had the same thing. They had the shadow, I call it, painted on side of buildings, along the fences, and it says, psst. It's right there, psst. In other words, to tell you not to talk. This was given to us by Red Cross. This other one has a steel cover on it, given to me by my grandmother before I went over, and you would carry it right here, over your heart, hopefully to protect you. One of the things, here's the scissors and the clippers that I was telling you about, that I cut hair, that I bartered through the barbed wire fence with the cigarettes that we got from the Red Cross parcel. And this was issued, everybody had some kind of a tin can or a cup or something, but this was issued to us by the Germans. And it's a little bit similar, although the U.S. forces had separate fork and spoon and knife, and they had theirs built like this. Well, when we went from one camp to another, they didn't want us to keep these. They want to keep them for people coming into the camp later. So I was bound and determined I was going to have something to eat with. So what I did, I put it in my shoe, right there. And I walked for 5 miles with that fork right there. Well, to say nothing of the sock, my foot wasn't in very good shape.
But you had your...
I had my fork and spoon to eat with. And then two other things here that I would like very much to show you is this cigarette. If I put fluid in it, probably would work from a soldier. And this is what I call their Swiss pocket knife, only there's no plastic or anything on the side of it. And it's just as good as the day that I got it. All that. And then this one here has a significant story to go with it. This little men's pocket knife. When we first started going into action, we run into fellas coming from the front line that we were relieving. And they said, well, wait till you get up front and you get 88 fever. Well, we scoffed at it. What do you mean 88 fever? Well, you'll find out. The Germans had a cannon, 88 millimeter cannon. And it was a point detonating, what they call point detonating. It would hit hail, hit a bird, a little branch in the air, it would explode right above you. And so when I found this little pocket knife with an 88, I wanted it because remembering exactly how we felt when we got to the front and we started getting what the fellows would call an 88. It was treacherous because and they were faster than our M1 rifle. That shell, that big round, went faster than our rifle. So that's about it. This is from Georgia, one of the big prison camps called Andersonville. So that's about it, guys.
So,
Okay.
how did you acquire the lighter and the?
Oh, and I also have a German officer's sword, but I traded. I traded cigarettes with him.
For a sword?
This is the German sword that I was telling you about, and it's just like brand new. And I don't know if I'll turn it this way. If you can zoom in on it, you can see the swastika and the eagle.
Towards the camera so we can get a good shot of it. Like that.
And then if you
Hold it real steady for a little bit.
and then if you notice the lion with the eyes.
Whoa. Watch your focus and make sure it's good and focused.
And this little spot right here, I would imagine that since it's not the same on this side, that this was for the man's initials. I'm only guessing. But it's in pretty good shape after all these years. It was a German officer's sword. I traded cigarettes for it.
How many cigarettes did
Gosh, I can't remember so darn long ago, but probably had to be a couple of hundred at least. And I was not a poker player, but a lot of guys played poker with cigarettes. There was no money. And I've seen piles of cigarettes that long on the table and 4 end to end and that deep, that high.
So cigarettes were kind of your currency.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. So, I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, what does the pistol look like here?
Oh yeah. It's right here. This, I just got this not too long ago. It's a replica. It's not, but this is the weight and the size of a U.S. Army .45 caliber pistol. And the only reason I got it is just probably to show the kids, my great grandkids and all. I have 3 youngsters and 7 grandchildren and 7 great grandchildren now. So that's. Did you understand everything that I? Oh, and then after I got out of the just about to be discharged, they put me in the 7th Corps, and that's why I have that 7th Corps. So actually, I had 3 different patches, and this, of course, this is what they used to call many years ago the ruptured duck. That's you've been discharged on, and the different ribbons. And here's my German dog tags.
Mm.
And then that article up there was when I came home on leave, before I went overseas, I was baking my cookies for my brother who was in the Navy already. So that's here, and there's a little write-up there about how servicemen are helping servicemen or some darn thing like that. Yeah, it's just a BB gun.